Hi, welcome. In this video, I'm going to be performing a food exercise with Conrad. Conrad's here on the board and train. This is day 13 of the process. He's doing very, very well. And here in this video, again, I want to show the method to overcome food aggression, food possession issues, and to establish right relationship when it comes to eating food. Now here behind me, I actually have food in the food dish, some water for Conrad, and so I'm going to show exactly how to begin to get a dog to think properly, to eat normally, and the framework to do that. Now from here, when you're doing this, you want to get the food out into the open area. You don't want to have it like against the wall, and even in terms of feeding a dog inside a crate. Okay, you want to be very cautious with that, especially at first. Because when a dog has food aggression, food possession issues, and then they're in the crate area, you put your hand into that crate and try to remove the dish at certain times, the dog may get ugly about it, okay? So to prevent problems, you want to do this type of exercise kind of out in the open, the food and water out in the open, so that I can begin to promote or advocate correctly through this method, okay? So the method, again, you want to use a pressure collar here, a little bit of leverage going on. And I'm going to be first just walking around the perimeter of the food dish. So when you come out and do this, you want to treat this as its own separate little exercise at first. And then you can walk directly in and advocate in terms of getting your dog to eat, but eat normally. I'm going to show you how to do that as well. Now from here again, the reason you want to walk around kind of in a circle, keep the dog on your inside here, so whatever however you're walking, you want your dog to be kind of closest to the dish. So if the dog's on my left side here, I'm going to move to my left. On the right side, you want to move to your right. But the idea here, by doing the walking around kind of a circle, it creates an offset angle. So it gives me a better idea of how the dog is investing, okay, being aware that the dish is there. So when the dog is turning his or her head towards the dish, I can nudge them to communicate with them to say, hey, no, don't be investing. I own the food. I own the food dish. I own the food. So therefore, you're going to eat as a follower to me. It's about everything coming through me, directing everything through me based on relationship, based on dogs as social animals, based on dogs as pack animals hierarchy. So it's really important. This is what establishes setting it up that way. You get a dog to eat normally. Okay. So when you're doing this, again, just assess how far out you want to be from the dish. If a dog is really possessive and really aggressive toward the food, you want to be out a little further away, and then get closer as you get closer to the dish to set up coming in straight on. So here I'm going to start to move here with Conrad. I'm moving with him. Again, basic method. See me bring him into the sit position here. A little push-pull down. Add some downs on. He's aware the dish is there. Sit. So nudge it a little bit. So again, as I'm moving here, just nudging a little bit, just walking around, just being normal, because it sets up my ability to come in straight on. So the idea of this exercise is eventually to be off the leash, okay? So the dog will the food will be out, the dog will eat normally. Okay, so here, the leash technique, how I'm doing this interaction type of a exercise, sets that in motion. Okay, it establishes the ability to move beyond the leash. Okay, so because this ties in directly, this is through the relationship. This is directly tied in through me. I'm the pivot point. This is how dogs' mind pivots off the individual. Okay, so again, moving in. Now this is where I can get closer a little bit. Again, depending on his reaction. Okay, take your time. Every dog is going to have perhaps more issues here. Conrad is doing extremely well. Okay, because this is something that we've established. Okay, so I already know that things are going to go pretty good here. Again, moving in, coming in, get closer a little bit. Now, here's the thing: once I have a pretty good foundation, where a dog is, you can tell they're starting to relax more. So look for relaxation, less head turning. You don't want the dog to be, investing. Sit. You want them just to be calm. Now, once I get a certain level of calmness, then I'll set up here, which I'm going to do here in just a moment, for coming straight in. Now, when you come straight in, I'm making a wide angle. I'm kind of setting up a straight line here, And then I'm putting Conrad right into a really good sit down. Put another down right here. Now we're about to head down the runway, okay? We're straight, we have a straight line here. Sit to get him to eat. But again, think of this as we're having a conversation between Conrad and I through the method, right? I'm speaking language to him through this method. Say, hey, yes, you're going to get to eat, but it's going to be as a follower to me, okay? And I'm creating the situation in terms of establishing that through how he's responding to the method, so that, you know, I'm looking at how he's investing, how relaxed he is, and it's almost like a little bit of an inwardness here. See that as I'm going? So, but as you do it, just take one step in. Don't rush in. Don't let the leash go out. Okay, you want to get to a point. I'll show you here, hovering right over the food, and then I'm going to point at it a little bit to give him permission to eat. But even as he's eating, I'm going to interrupt that at times so that he's chewing his food properly, so he's not gobbling his food. Okay, and I'll show you that. So again, as I move forward here, move one step, get a little closer here, down. You can add some downs on here. Sit. Take your time. Assess, you know. Don't move forward till it's calm. If that tail's wagging, which it isn't, but if the tail's starting to wag, it's excitable, take your time. I don't want that tail to stop. I want him just to be calm here. Now, when you interrupt here, okay, I have both collars on him here. I have the pressure collar and the flat collar on. So when he's actually physically eating, that's a time to maybe use the flat collar so that you're not putting so much pressure on him, because you're going to have a potential a little bit more choking behavior, right? I don't want him to be choking and stuff, so you know, you can use the flat collar to interrupt. I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to get a little closer here. Now here's where you a little bit of tension here sometimes. It's like, you know, it's funny because you'll notice dogs will be like, if I don't want to do this if I'm not in full control. It's either or, right? And so sometimes if you notice a little bit of dog is like, hey, I don't like this, because take your time. You know, just take your time. Because it is more challenging, because if they've had full control before, you know, they're like, it's going to throw them off. In fact, sometimes it'll throw them off so much that they don't even want to eat. If you ever get that situation where the dog is like rejecting food, stick to the method. Don't go all emotional and go back to your old ways. You want to maintain leadership. You want to maintain the integrity of this method. But then you can hand feed them. You can encourage them a little bit more, okay? It's not going to affect anything. But you have to emphasize your rightful role, okay? You have to be focused on the dog releasing control, okay? So sometimes you get thrown off. I've had dogs like just refuse to eat for a little bit of time. But you have to, you know, understand the importance of sticking to the script, okay? To make sure that they're going to be thinking properly. So here I'm pretty close to the food. This is where I can switch over now to the other collar. Okay, so I have a flat collar on him too. Tail starting to wag a little bit, but this tap, use it the same way as the pressure collar. Still advocate the same way. Now here I'm going to give him permission to eat, okay? It's like, it's a conditional space. Like, yes, you eat the food that's coming through me. And touch it a little bit to help to motivate him. Now see, he's eating a little bit. Now I'm going to stop him right here for a second. Put him back into a sit. I want him just to pause to help to interrupt. I'm interrupting that a little bit, help slow him down, so he'll chew the food, okay? So I am still asserting a little bit of influence, so I might interrupt 3 or 4 times, but I'm not doing it in a jerky way, okay? I'm doing it in a reasonable way, a way that he's going to come into agreement with, okay? Same thing. Go ahead. Eat a little more. Just helping to slow him down. Now if he's really rushing, assess that. Now here's the same thing. Now I'm going to bring him back into the sit. Slow him down. This is a healthy thing, okay? Slow your dog down. Tap it a little bit here. Just tap. Because here's the thing, he knows I'm going to let him eat, okay? This isn't about me taking food from him, okay? I'm just slowing him down. So I might do this like just 2 or 3 times, depending on how quickly a dog is eating, okay? I'm going to do it one more time here. Still chewing a little bit here. Just push on the bum area. This flat collar is really down low, so it's not right over his, you know, trachea area as I'm doing this. I'm just tapping a little bit, but I'm still asserting influence, okay? Same thing. So I'm going to give him permission again. But I'm right here. I'm right over him. You know, I'm establishing, you know, influence, leadership. And the method is tying in properly, okay? I'm asserting influence. I'm intersecting state of mind at various times. I'm getting the last little bit here. And see how you just look at me like just being normal, same thing. So I'll put it back in the sit. Now same with the water, right? The water's here. See if he wants a drink. Okay. I can touch the water even a little bit, so sometimes the dog's kind of thrown off. See that? So just me touching the water a little bit help to kind of, and that's what I was talking about. When sometimes it gets thrown off and you're putting influence, certain level of influence, it's basically saying it's okay. You know, I'm in control. Yes, you have permission to drink, and kind of encourage them a little bit to do that. Okay. So the same thing. So we get a little drink of water. Then this is where I can switch if I need to. I can switch back over to the other collar. Could have both collars on at the same time. Because there's times during a process you need a little more leverage, okay, for certain exercises. But at times when you're doing certain methods, okay, you can switch over to the flat collar, okay, just to help to take a, help to level things out a little bit. So again, this is the foundational exercise. I encourage anyone that has issues with food, or you think you might have issues with food, get a dog home for the first time, get this exercise in motion. Okay, then after a while, guess what? Just you can be off leash. You'll go out, eat normal. You're not going to get possessive or think that you have a problem. Okay, so it's really, this is a great exercise to establish right relationship when it comes